Okay, Saxon 4 Math Group, we're ready for lesson 36, fractions of a dollar. Let's do some mental math to warm up. Okay, let's do this one just by looking at the hundreds and then the tens and the ones. Okay, hundreds first. We've got 600s here and 200s here. That would give us 800s. Now let's look at the tens. We've got 3 and 4 and 1, so that would be 8. So far we have 880, and now let's look at the ones, and we only have 5. 885. Okay, let's take a look at this one. This is one where I like to say, okay, 78 only needs 2 to become 80. Let's take that 2 from the 7, and you know what it leaves behind. It leaves a 5, right? So now we have 80 plus 5 plus 10, 85. You know what that is, 95. This one, we've got a 19. Let's pretend that it's 20 and go ahead and add that to 67, 77, 87. Then add the 100, 187. Take away the 1 because we dealt with 19, and we've got 186. Jason has 3 bank accounts. His account balances are $120, $85, and $37 all together. How much money does Jason have in his bank accounts? Let's do this. 120, I know if I add 80 to that, I'm going to be to 200. But I've got 85 here, so I'm going to take the 5 and add it to the 37. 37 only needs 3 more to become 40, and that would leave 2 left over, so we have 242. Isaac ran 5 kilometers. How many meters did Isaac run? Well, kilo means 1,000. So if each kilometer is 1,000 and he ran 5, then he ran 5,000 meters. Chase went to bed at 9 p.m. He woke up 9 hours later. Lucky, lucky Chase. At what time did Chase wake up? Well, from 9 p.m. to midnight, 9, 10, 11, 12, that's 3 of those 9. We've got how many more to go? We've got 6, so he woke up at 6 a.m. Okay, estimation. Karina has $1.87 in her left pocket and $2.35 in her right pocket. Round each amount to the nearest 25 cents. Okay, this one is a tough one because I was thinking, okay, $1.75. Man, it's like almost right in between. Is it closer to $2? So I had to think $1.75, and then to 87 cents, that'd be a difference of 12 cents. And then from 87 cents up to the next dollar, that would be 13 cents. So technically this one would be $1.75. And what about this one? This one's a little bit easier. It's closer to $2.25. Okay, calculation. I'm going to go through some steps here. And 6 times 3, and that's 18. Now with the plus 8, I want you to pretend like they're tens, okay? And then we'll take away 2. So 6 times 3 is 18 plus 10, that'd be 28. Take away 2, that'd be 26. Okay, 26 plus 10, that'd be 36. Take away 2, that'd be 34. Minus 4 equals 30. Tom has a penny, a nickel, a dime, and a quarter. 2 of the coins are in his left pocket and 2 are in his right pocket. What combination of coins could be in his left pocket? Well, the same combination of coins that could end up in his right. So basically what this is asking is how many different combinations of 2 can we come up with for a penny, a nickel, a dime, and a quarter. So I like to make a little list just to remind myself. We've got a penny, a nickel, a dime, and a quarter. Okay, the different combinations that we could have with a penny. We could have a penny and a nickel. We could have a penny and a dime. We could have a penny and a quarter. Now when we move on to our combinations with the nickel, we can't repeat. So I can't say I've got a nickel and a penny because we already had it up here. Okay, but I can say, oh, we do not have nickel and dime on our list, and that's a combination. Also a nickel and a quarter. All right, and that's it. Now let's move on to the dime. We could not put a dime and a penny. That's already on our list. Okay. Could we put a dime and a nickel? No, that's already on our list. So dime and a quarter. And at this point, we have used, let's check. Do we see a quarter and a penny? Yes, we do. Do we see a quarter and a nickel? Yes, we do. Do we see a quarter and a dime? Yes, we do. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ways, 6 combinations. Let's see how they did it. They did it with pictures. So did we. Theirs just look better than mine. And they did their combinations with words. 6 combinations. Okay, moving on to example 1. 3 pennies are what fraction of a dollar? And you could say, well, that's 3 cents out of 100, right? So that would be 3 100ths. Let's look at B. Write the value of 3 pennies using a dollar sign and a decimal point. We've talked about how that's tricky. You have to say $0.03. If you were to put just 0.3, that would mean 30. Okay, so be careful. Example 2. Which coin equals 1/4 of a dollar? So which coin do you need 4 of to make a dollar? Well, that's a quarter, isn't it? Okay. Now write 1/4 of a dollar using a dollar sign and a decimal point. And that just means write a quarter with a dollar sign and a decimal point. $0.25. Example 3. Here's where it gets a little tricky. 3 dimes are what fraction of a dollar? And normally I would say, okay, 3 dimes, that's 30 over 100, right? And that is correct, but it's not what we call in simplest form, or the simplest way to say it where people will understand. Let's look at what each of these is. 1 dime is 1/10 of a dollar, right? It takes 10 of them. I'm talking about 1 dime. I would need 10 for a whole dollar. So if each of these is 1/10, here's 1/10, 2/10, 3/10. So the best way, the best answer for A is to say 3/10. Now in the beginning we said 30 cents out of 100. We ended up with 3/10 because 1/10 plus 1/10 plus 1/10 will give me 3/10. Here's another way you could do it. If you have a 1 0 at the top, you can mark off 1 0 at the bottom also. They cancel each other out, and sometimes that helps you find the simplest answer. Okay, but we'll look at another example that does not have a 0 on the top in just a moment. Then it says write the value of these 3 dimes using a dollar sign and a decimal point. And there you have it, 0.30. 30 cents. I told you a minute ago that if you put 0.3 it would be 30. Here's why. Okay? Because in dollars and cents we have to have 2 places to the right of the decimal point. If nothing's there, we can assume that it's 0. Example 4. Compare 1/20th of a dollar with half a dollar. Okay. So what coin do you need 20 of to make a dollar? It's a nickel, isn't it? So we're comparing on this side, it's really a nickel. Now, a half of a dollar, how many cents would that be? That'd be 2/4, that's 50 cents, isn't it? Would you rather have a nickel or 50 cents? My alligator's going to eat 1/2 of a dollar. Example 5, look at these coins. How many different ways can we group 3 coins? And we did a method on the other example that we'll use now. Let's see, penny, nickel, dime, quarter. We'll go ahead and do that again. Oops, I've got something on my pen. I apologize. Erase that. And I want to make sure how many coins I get to add, I get to group together. Okay, 3. So here we have 4 coins, right? We're looking for combinations of 3 coins. So let's do the penny combinations first. And there's an easier way to do this. I'll show you when we're done. But just to show you the method that we've been using, we could do penny, nickel, dime, and stop there. That's 3 coins. We could do penny, dime, quarter. We could do penny. Let's see. And I believe that's it, folks. That's our only penny combinations. Yep, so now we have to go to our nickel combinations. And we already have nickel, penny, dime, so we can't do that again. We could have nickel, dime, quarter. That's a brand new combination, isn't it? Let's see, so that puts all 3 of those together. And we've got one more. Let's take the dime. We've already had the dime with the nickel and penny. We've had the dime with penny and the quarter, but what about, let's see, okay, and the dime with the nickel and the quarter. And so that's okay. On the penny one, working with the pennies, we left off this one. We left off a quarter. This one we left off the nickel, and we also need one more in here. I'm going to squish it in, where we leave off the dime. Okay. And then we can move on. This is confusing this way. I love it, the simpler way. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 ways. Now, did all this to show you that if we have 4 coins and we're making combinations of 3, all of our combinations are going to end up leaving out something. So one combination will leave out the penny, one will leave out the nickel, one will leave out the dime, one will leave out the quarter, and there you have it, 4 ways. There were the first 3, pennies in the first spot, and the last one. Okay, on to lesson practice. Write the value of 3/4 using a dollar sign and a decimal point. Then write 3/4 as a fraction of a dollar. So first of all, we do our dollar sign, 3/4 when it was 75 cents. So it's $0.75. And 3/4 out of 4 altogether to make a dollar, that's 3/4. Yes, you could write 75 out of 100, 75 100ths, but remember each quarter is 1/4. So if you have 3/4, you have 3/4, and that's the simplest way to say it. Okay, look at B. What fraction of a dollar is 3 nickels? 3 nickels is 15 cents, right? So we could say 15 cents out of 100, but guess what? That's not the simplest way. Each nickel is 1/20th of a dollar. So what do you think the best way to say that is? If you have 3 of them, 3/20ths. And the way to write it using a dollar sign and a decimal point, 15 cents, 0.15 with your dollar sign. C, 50 pennies are what fraction of a dollar? Write the value of 50 pennies using a dollar sign and a decimal point. So first we have to do the fraction, and you would think 50 pennies out of 100 would be 50 100ths. You could also mark off some zeros. Let's try that. 50 100ths. And whatever if I have a 0 on the top, just one, and I have 1 0 on the bottom, I can mark that out. 1 and 1. I can't mark out 1 and 2. It has to be the same thing that I'm marking off, okay? So now we've got 5/10, but that's still not the best thing to say. If you have 5 out of 10, that's the same as saying 1/2, isn't it? Okay? So write the value of 50 pennies using a dollar sign and a decimal point. That would be 0.50 with your dollar sign. Okay, compare 1/10 of a dollar. That would be what coin? A dime. And let's compare it to 1/4 of a dollar. That's 25 cents. My alligator would rather eat 25 cents. Now compare 1/2 of a dollar. How many cents is that? That's 50 cents. Compare that with 25 cents. I would rather have the 50 cents. Look at these coins. List all the different ways to pair two coins. You may use money manipulatives to solve. So let's make a list. And this time we can only have two. And it is, let's see, we've got nickel, quarter, dime, and 50-cent piece. Nickel, quarter, my pen's getting slow. Dime, and 50-cent piece. And we can only pair two. Okay, so all of our combinations. I'm going to give my computer a chance to catch up. Hang on. Okay, so let's start with combinations with the nickel. Nickel and a quarter. I'll just do it how they're listed here. Half, nickel, and dime. And we get half, nickel, and a 50-cent piece. Okay, now we'll start with the quarters, and we cannot repeat ourselves. So can I say quarter nickel? No, I already have that in my list. But I can say quarter dime, and then quarter 50-cent piece. All right, my pen is caught up with my computer. You can tell my writing's better. Okay, now let's move on to the dime. Could I have dime and nickel? No, I already have that. Could I have dime and quarter? No, I already have that. Could I have dime and 50-cent piece? Yes. And the 50-cent piece now has been paired with the nickel here. It's been paired with the quarter here. It's been paired with the dime. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ways. Okay, and you are ready to check yourself for lesson 35. Okay, so hit pause as you check 1 through 6. Hit pause as you check 7 through 15. Hit pause as you check 16 through 27. And hit pause as you check 28 through 30 in the early finisher if you did that. And then you will be finished.